Do you know there are certain things you will not be told about getting married? And then you have to figure those things out when you eventually get married. One of such things is how to cope as a married student. My name is Sandra Ezeji Anyaele. I am your marriage foundation coach. As always, I want to welcome all those that are new to my channel. I want to also say thank you to my returning subscribers, because without you guys, I will not be doing what I'm doing. You guys encourage me a lot. Before I proceed, I want to say that it's been a while. Yes, I've not posted videos for some time. I was actually sick. And it's funny because for so many years, I've not been to the hospital. But I'm human. That's just to show you that I'm also human. I was actually admitted in the hospital. But thank God I'm back. As you can see, I am as fit as a fiddle. I am back on my feet. So today, I want to talk about something that I don't think anybody has even talked about it or thought of talking about it. Even our parents did not talk about it because they didn't know how important they were. I was married as a student, so I think I am in the right position to talk about this topic. There are certain things you need to know in order for you to navigate as a married student. I'm going to break it down so that you properly understand it. The first and foremost thing I want to talk about is don't live in the campus. You have to live outside the campus. That is to say, you have to get an accommodation outside the school. Yes, it's important to do that because your husband will come visiting, or you want a situation where your husband will come. You know how hostel is. He can't even stay there. Yes, he cannot. He will just come there and that place will not be comfortable for him to stay. And at the end of the day, what if he wants to sleep over? Is he going to sleep with you in the hostel? No, but maybe you people might opt, for both of you to sleep in a hotel. You can check into a hotel, I know that, but for how long are you going to do that? Take for instance, if you're married when you are in your year one, remember your course might take like 4 years or 5 years. Then does it mean that your husband will be coming to visit you in the hostel all through those years? I'm sure you know the answer. Get an accommodation outside the campus. It will help a great deal, because when you get an accommodation outside the campus, when your husband comes visiting, he will feel more relaxed because he needs to feel relaxed. You too will feel relaxed with your husband. Another thing you have to think about is buying things as a married woman. Most of the times, as students, we have things that we buy as students. But as a married student, you are now a step higher, because you need to buy things that even when you graduate from school, you take those things home. So as a married woman, there are things you need to get and there are things you don't need. For instance, as a student, you might opt for a small phone that you can just, drop on the floor and you are okay as a student. But as a married student, you might not do that. Yes, you might not do that, because if your husband comes visiting again, where will he stay? Is it that small phone that both of you are going to, sleep on? So when you are buying things as a married student, consider the fact that you are now married. Consider the fact also that when you people vacate for the semester, you are going to your own house. It means that you are also building your home somehow. Yes, because you are going to use those things that you've acquired while you are a student to, they are not a waste. You are going to use it in your new home. That is just the truth. Another thing you need to do as a married student is to cook in bulk. Yes, cooking in bulk now means that what we mentioned in point 2, that is buying things as a married woman, comes into play. For instance, you need to get a refrigerator. I am not saying that it must be this big, the one that you can afford, but make sure that the refrigerator has got a freezer, because as a student, we won't have the time, all the time to be cooking. Yes, you will not. So if you have a refrigerator, it will help you, because by the time you cook in bulk, you will store some food. Yeah, you can decide to be cooking every weekend. If you don't have lectures, yes, you can decide to be cooking every weekend. Then you store it in your freezer. There are things you can also preserve in the fridge. So when you preserve those things, you now know that you don't come back from school and start cooking. What you only do is to microwave and then you eat if you want to eat. When you buy raw food items, the ones that are perishable, you will preserve them in the fridge. The ones that are not perishable, you will know how to preserve them either in container or anywhere you deem fit, as far as those things will not spoil. This will help you to save cost. Yes, you are a student. You remember, if you're a married student, it is different from when you are just a student. For instance, if you are a student, you might have uncles, aunties, siblings, older siblings that can be giving you money. But when you are now a married student, you can agree with me that it's a different ball game. As a matter of fact, your siblings might even be expecting you to give them something because you are already married. They don't care if you are a student. Yes, I am saying it because this is something I went through and I am putting it out there so that you will learn. Now, if you are a married student and there are some things that you experienced, because you were not told, because you were not aware, because you were ignorant? Let's have your thoughts in the comment section so that we'll know that what we are saying, we are making sense. Now, the next thing you have to talk about is, while being a student, you still have to think about the home front. What do I mean? You know, this my channel, I talk about marriage foundation. And now I am talking about being married as a student. Now, how it affects the foundation is that you don't have to say because I am a student and then you ignore the planning of something that are important in your marriage. While being a student, you have to plan it in such a way that it will suit you, because by the time you graduate from school, you will continue from where you stopped. For instance, if you are a student and you're already married, don't, because you are a student, just abandon the affairs of the home. You have to keep in touch with your husband. Both of you should be talking. Communication is very vital. Both of you should be talking. Both of you should be sending text messages. If you are busy as a student, your husband already knows you are a student. You people have to schedule time that you people will talk. Thank God there is social media. Thank God you people can do Zoom meeting. Yes, both of you can talk. Then you people can also plan that it's either he comes visiting every week or he comes visiting two times in a week, depending on your plan. I'm not going to tell you how to figure it out, but you people have to plan it. Planning is very important, because if you don't plan, saying that I'm a student when I graduate, no, that is the foundation. Anywhere you are, that foundation is still very, very important. Don't say because you are a student you will just ignore those things. Anytime you people have to schedule it. If it is in the night that is convenient for both of you to talk, very well. If it is in between when you don't have lectures, let your husband know your plan. Let your husband know your routine. Let your husband know the time you have lectures, whether it's in the morning, whether it's in there. You people will be talking daily. Communication is vital. Let me tell you something. Do you know that being married as a student is equivalent like long distance relationship? Yes, it's their brothers and sisters. You know why? Because you are not there every day with your husband or your wife. That is just the truth. So the same principles apply somehow. Communication, both of you need to be communicating. You have to schedule time that will be favorable for both of you. You have to schedule time that you'll be talking. Yes. Then your husband will also know that as a student you need to read. As a student, you need to work hard so that you come out with good grades. That is just the truth. So planning is another thing that is very crucial. You have to plan so that you know what is happening in the home front. You know what is happening with your husband. You know what is happening in his business or in his career. Another thing you need to do as a married student is to make friends with students who are already married. Yes, you can do that. Students who are already married and are committed to their education. You know, some people are there, they are not serious. They just want to be there. And let it be that I went to school. If I graduate with anything, as far as I'm married, I'm good. No. You don't do that. You have to fish out those that are committed in their studies. You have to fish out those that are serious with their academics. It's very important, because you are there for a reason. You don't just go to school. You go to school to acquire an education. And that education, you have to acquire it in order for it to help you in future. That is why you are there in the first place. Yes. So make friends with people that will help you, that will encourage you, that will, motivate you to do more, motivate you to be serious with your academics. Yes, that is also very important. You also have to be prayerful. Do not say because I trust my husband or I trust my wife, you just leave the person like that. No, it's important that you pray for them. Put them in your daily prayers. It's very important, because you don't say because you trust this person don't need your prayers. No, this person needs your prayers, because to be honest with you, there are pressures, especially now that you're in school. I remember vividly when I was in school and my husband was staying in a different location. It was not that easy for both of us, because I'm a young girl in school and he's also a young man somewhere else. So don't say I trust this man so much, I trust this woman so much, and you leave the person. No. You don't have to do that. Don't leave them all by themselves. Put them in your daily prayers. And sometimes too, you can do Zoom prayer. Yes, you can do that. Or both of you also can put your phone on speaker, and it's either he's praying or you are praying. Both of you, you understand? Both of you should. That bond is very important. That bond is very, very important, because you are not giving Satan room to come into the relationship. But when you just leave it, God will take care of him or God will take care of her, then you are creating problem indirectly. Don't leave anything to chance. You have to put them in their prayer, because it is not very easy. Pressures are too much. Even you as a married student, there are also pressures. Yes, I will not tell you because you're a married student, there will not be pressure. There are also pressures on married students too. Another thing you need to do is to make sure that your friendship is tight. People always say that you must marry your friend. For me, I believe that even if you don't marry your friend, then make the person you have married your friend. Yes, what I mean is this. It's not that the person you married is your enemy. Of course, you can't marry your enemy. But in friendship, the person will fall for you, will fall for the person. There are small, small things, friendship. But some people, they will just marry. We are just husband and wife. They are not enemies. They are just husband and wife. All those details, all those small, small nitty-gritty here and there is lacking. It's not that they are enemies. No, they are not. So, but over time, they will not build friendship. It can happen. That is why I am of the opinion that if the person is not your friend, when people got married, learn to make the person your friend in the course of being married, because it will help both of you. When you build that friendship, it's going to help your marriage. It's going to help your relationship. Remember, the fact that you as a student does not mean that you cannot still, make the foundation of your marriage strong. Don't say when I graduate, then you will start. No, even while you are a student, what you are supposed to do as a married woman is still what you will be doing. It's just that both of you are not in the same location. I hope you are making sense. Now, another thing you need to do is be serious with your studies. How do you do that? Those people that you have found out that are also married and students, that they are serious with their, you people can form a group and be reading together. Take turns to ask questions. Have them as your reading partners, because you have a mission for being in school and you have to achieve that goal. So when you read, you have to read to pass your exams, so that you don't give it as an excuse that because I was a student, that's why I did not do well in my studies. Don't give it as an excuse. So if you go through these points that I have mentioned, you will understand clearly that these things that I mentioned are very important, even though they are not always talked about. But I am saying it because I was there. I understand it. That is why I'm able to do what I'm doing. Now in the comment section, if there are other ideas or other points, maybe you were a married student or presently you're a married student, please let's have it in the comment section so that people will learn. The aim of this video, like every other of my video, is to teach people. I hope this video will inspire someone out there. If the video has made sense to you, please like the video, share this video, comment, and turn on your notification button so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be the first to know. I love you so very much, and I will see you in my next video.